Hey everyone, and welcome to the Active Towns channel. My name is John Simmerman, and today is Friday, June 13th, 2025, and I'm in Providence, Rhode Island. And I need to head over to the grocery store to pick up a few things and get ready for my next leg of the Amtrak journey to Denver, Colorado. So I am gonna take us on a little ride to the grocery store, to Whole Foods. Okay, let's do it. So I'm here in my delightful little neighborhood where I have been staying during this week, during the Strong Towns National Gathering, and also the gathering of the urbanists for the Congress for New Urbanism. This has been really delightful here in this neighborhood. I've been staying in an Airbnb, and yeah, it's can't say enough wonderful things about it. I'm just kind of wandering my way down. Yeah, Trenton Street is where I want to be. What we're going to try to do is connect with a basically a trail or pathway connection, trailhead connection, and that'll take us along the riverfront and on over to the neighborhood where we need to go to for the grocery store. What I love about these neighborhoods here in Providence is, you know, we've got plenty of housing here as well as lots of little businesses. Super cool. You'll notice that the streets are pretty narrow. Not quite so narrow that you have to do Yield Street, but you know, pretty close. Certainly right in that area. And I have noticed since being here that it has been very low volume of traffic, and what cars I have seen in the area on these neighborhood streets have been going very, very slowly. So now if we look ahead here, we see a nice colorful crossing, and it looks like the beginning of our pathway. So this looks like a trailhead connector from the neighborhood down to the Riverfront Trail. So we're gonna go stage up over here. See a pretty steady stream of cars. Not sure if this is a sort of on-ramp to the interstate or not. There's a person approaching on a bike here. And sure enough, they are making their way onto the Riverfront Trail there. Interestingly enough, this the signal crossing here at this intersection is there's hoods on all of the signals. I've been noticing relatively good yielding behaviors at the crosswalks, and sure enough, this bus has done that for me. I sort of forced the issue on that because it didn't look like I was gonna have a chance to get across anytime soon. But yeah, I've been really impressed with driver behavior here in Providence. Can't tell you how many times I have had somebody notice that I was getting ready to cross, either by walking or biking at a crosswalk. And they're like, yeah, no, go ahead. We'll yield for you, which, hey, that's pretty cool. That's the type of driver behavior that gets the Active Towns endorsement. And now we're transitioned over here onto this delightful river path, multi-use path here, and immediately you just have the silence. And you notice how comfortable it is over here.
Like that you sit back in, or is it like?
We've got the park to the left, river to the right, and we see all ages and abilities. Welcome here, enjoying this facility. Again, today's Friday. Tomorrow, I expect, if it's another beautiful day, we will see lots of families out here making their way around. I've been really impressed with just how welcoming to families the parks and trails and pathways have been here in Providence. I know they put a lot of work into this, getting it to the stage where it is at currently. This is really wild, this drawbridge over here to the right. I wonder if this could be a potential future bike and ped crossing. Wow, look at that. Good relic to the industrial past that is a big part of this area.
Nice, Brian.
Hey, nice. Take care. The folding bike family here. Well, before I get rolling too far, because this is so delightful, I better figure out when I need to head back up into the neighborhood to get to the market. Get a little bite to eat as well as get some provisions, as I had mentioned. I'll be on the train first thing tomorrow morning, and then I will be on the train for a good solid 2 nights, arriving in Denver, Colorado in the morning of the 16th. And then I have the honor and privilege to be presenting a keynote address in Boulder, Colorado on Wednesday the 18th. This is just so pleasant. I might just keep writing this for hours. I really can't do that. I've got another shoot that I have to do. Yeah, let's use this stop right up here to figure out where I need to go to get to the market. Okay, I'm gonna head back the opposite way. I did actually miss my turn. It actually wouldn't be that big of a deal for me to just take this street that's immediately behind me. I think it's Pittman. It seems like it's a relatively low traffic street, and it says that it's a street where you can just kind of share with traffic. But you know what? I want to go ahead and see what the connection is like down here on the trail to the commercial street in the district, because I think there might be a pharmacy up here too. So let's get rolling. And one of the things I try to emphasize here on the Active Towns channel is that when we build activity assets such as this, walkways and bikeways and multi-use paths, it's incredibly important to make sure that you have those meaningful connections, those junctions to the neighborhoods and to the commercial centers, so that they can become something more than just recreational facilities. They can be utilitarian, all ages and abilities routes for everyday trips. Now, when we look at this particular width of this path, it seems like it's just fine for light use and traffic from a multi-use perspective. However, if we, start seeing a large number of people using it on a daily basis, we might start to feel like it's a little undersized. One of the things that I really encourage cities, municipalities to do is, have a section off to the side. Like if we just kind of look over here and say, off to one side or the other, you have like an unpaved section of it where runners and even, walkers, folks can actually ride on and or walk on, run on. It's nice because it gives a little bit of a low-cost way of making the trail, the pathway, a little wider. Runners do prefer, many of them, to run on natural surfaces. So having a 3-foot or 4-foot shoulder that is natural surface is a nice way to give some girth, give some width to a trail or pathway without feeling like you have to pave the entire thing. All right, well, this is, in fact, our connection. So let's turn here. And we see it's nothing special, you know, it's just kind of an undersized little thing here. But you'll notice it's sort of the backside of a commercial area. And in fact, it is a Walgreens up here. And one of the things I need to get, actually, I can actually get from Walgreens. So let's do this. Let's, before we head up to Whole Foods for my bite to eat, let's pop into Walgreens and get a fresh tube of toothpaste. Yep, that's what I need. Simple as that. Again, this is the types of things that cities can do to really make it conducive to folks to using active mobility, walking and biking to meet their daily needs. Easy route to meaningful destinations, like a pharmacy. We see we have an antiquated, old school kind of bike rack. Again, this is not the design that we would recommend with active towns. We want to see just a simple upside down staple. I believe those are the Schrader type of, Schaefer bike racks. Simple, great, you know, for accommodating all different types of bikes. We're gonna lock up the Brompton right here, head on in and get our tube of toothpaste and then head on over to Whole Foods. A quick word about, you know, traveling with a Brompton. I could just as easily fold this up and roll it right in, but it's gonna be quicker for me to actually just lock it. So I'm gonna lock it up here and we'll see you in just a moment. Okay, mission accomplished. Got my toothpaste and here's the bike, ready to roll. Just had a delightful conversation with the gal who checked me out there at Walgreens. She was curious about the Brompton and our little setup here. And again, we're gonna continue on to our destination, Whole Foods. I'm really not that hungry, but I do wanna just kind of demonstrate the connectivity of the pathway, the trail, on up to these meaningful destinations like a grocery store, a market, as well as the pharmacy where we were just at. Again, this is Pittman, so this is the street that we could have taken earlier to get right to this point. And I chose not to, just because I wanted to show you that the trail connection was there. A little bit of a hill climbing up, which is reasonable and expected given that we were down at the river level. So we're climbing up the embankments into the neighborhood. I believe it is just oh, I think it's actually behind us. Okay. Let's kind of flip around. I think we may have just missed it off to the side there. Let's see if we can get there from up here. Yeah, just really digging the vibe of these narrow residential streets, low volumes of traffic, low speed. You see all sorts of folks riding. You see, cruiser bikes like this one here parked at West Elm. They're all good signs that people are feeling comfortable walking and biking in the neighborhood. Oh, look at this, Diego's East Side. Yeah. Very cool. This is a really cool little commercial center. You see the mixture of the old and new. Just kind of checking out this whole area here. All right. And I think we have arrived. And we have. There it is. Whole Foods Waterman Street. So Whole Foods Market, a few years ago, started purchasing some of the smaller, locally owned natural food stores, grocery stores, markets. This kind of looks and feels like that might be the case. So let's go check it out. Not literally. I'm not going to bring you on inside, but I'm going to go get something to eat. Okay, folks, I have finished my lunch, and right back here at this intersection of Gano and Trenton Street, this is where we picked up that trail connection, and we're gonna see where the pathway takes us. Again, just as a reminder, we are on sort of the Riverfront trail, and I wanted to take note of the fact that we do have some construction up here, so looks like we've got a little bit of a detour. I always like documenting detours because I think it's essential that municipalities do a good job of providing safe alternate routes for people partaking in active mobility. So if you're walking and biking, you need to have another way to get to along the pathway. Thank you. And it's, obviously this is a little narrow, and we probably could have taken advantage of this area to the right where they have the cones, but whatever, we're doing our best that we can. You'll see to the left here, they've added a little bit more asphalt to make it a little wider, but boom, then you see we've got a temporary trail laid down in asphalt here. It looks like they're doing some pretty major repair work on this bridge to the left. But we are very, very close to India Point Park, which we have profiled before, or depending on how the videos get released, we might be profiling them in future videos. Not sure how these are all going to roll out for you, but now we are in India Point Park. Again, as a reminder, India Point Park is a park that is part of the trio, the chain of parks, that were part of the People for Bikes Big Jump project, connecting park to park to park. The Roger Williams Park and Gateway Center to the pedestrian bridge over the river and the river walk to this park, the India Point Park. And And you're going to see a little bit how that all relates in just a moment. Nice being down here at the waterfront level. And you can see on this beautiful Friday, lots of folks out enjoying the sun. Really super comfortable weather. And you see the George Redmond Park bike route down that way. Off in the distance here, we see the India Point Park bridge. We're gonna take that because we're headed back to the Airbnb so I can brush my teeth. Again, we got toothpaste. I needed that. And I had my lunch. So before I head out filming for the afternoon, I wanted to do that. These guys demonstrate some great skills, balancing. Mad respect for those guys. And up we go. All right, that's our little bonus material for the bike ride to the grocery store and the pharmacy. Again, hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and share it with a friend. And if you haven't done so already, I'd be honored to have you subscribe to the channel. Just click on that subscription button down below and ring the notifications bell. Well, until next time, this is John signing off by wishing you much activity, health, and happiness. Cheers. And again, just want to send a huge thank you to all my Active Towns ambassadors supporting the channel financially via YouTube memberships, YouTube super thanks, as well as making contributions to the nonprofit and joining my Patreon. Every little bit adds up and is very much appreciated. Thank you all so much.
Hi there.